If you're a phenomenal coach, see, don't mistake in what I'm about to say. You might be a great teacher, but you suck as a coach if you can't sell.
What is that one skill that you would learn to master first?
A really good question, Kerry. And I just want to elaborate on what you just said before, because I just don't think a lot of people understand how important it is, because every fitness coach is so good at telling their client how to diet, and more importantly, what are your macros, and are you in a calorie deficit, are you not? And they're so good at doing skin folds or weight measurements or waist measurements or circumference measurements. And they're so good at saying, hey, show me your training strength. I mean, if you're a half decent coach, and you should be in the gym, then you probably have your clients know these numbers, know these numbers, know these numbers, and you know what to fix. We like to call this the facts. The facts are not the feelings. And if you have your clients' macros, if you have your clients' skin folds, and you have your clients training your strength, you know what to fix to improve to get results. And a lot of fitness coaches think that business is some sort of magical mystery, but it comes down to understanding the facts of your business as well. And if you understand the facts, it's very similar to how you get your clients to track their macros, their skin folds, their strength, and they don't understand. And you're like, well, how do you not understand this? This is so easy. This is so simple. You know? And you look at your client and you go, are you fucking serious? You can't track your macros and nutrients? Like, this shit's so easy to lose weight. You just got to get stronger in the gym, and that's how you keep your muscle. And then we're going to put you in deficit, and then just eat these macros. And they look at you and they just don't know what's happening. And it's that same feeling that when you come to us, you'll go, Lynn, but I don't understand this business. How does it work? And we go, here are the only two things that you actually need to measure inside of your business right now at the very beginning. There are a few other things, but if we begin with the two things that Kerry talked about, and Kerry, you can elaborate on this, we call this the cost to make a sale and how much you get paid. AKA, inside of marketing terms, cost per acquisition. How much does it cost you to acquire a new client inside of your business? And lifetime value. How long do they stay on? And as a result of the length of time that they stay on for, how much do you get paid? And if you get paid more than it costs you to acquire a client or a customer, if you get paid $3 signs and it costs you $1 signs, well, your profit is left down to $2, which means you can scale, which means you can begin to grow, which means you have this as a profit margin to then reinvest back into your business to build systems, processes, and people. And this is the result. I actually want to talk about this today. Money buys you freedom. Money buys you freedom because money can pay for people, processes, and systems. And without money, you are the business, which means you're trapped. Money buys you freedom. Now, if you have freedom, more likely than not, you're happier than if you're stuck. And it's a really, really cool thing that I want to talk about, because if you do not know these numbers, you will never be able to scale. Just like if your client actually doesn't know their skin folds, their weight, their macros, and their training, they will never be able to build an elite performing body. I'm talking about elite. I'm not talking about average that you kind of wing it. I'm talking about, do you want to build an elite business? You need to understand these numbers and how they work. I'm not talking about if you build an average business. Most people that are listening to this, you already have an average business and you want to take it to the next level. So, Kerry, I think this is going to set up the foundation for what your question was, and you said, well, what is the skill set that I would focus on first? Well, would I focus on lifetime value? If I'm starting from scratch, would I focus on trying to build shit and trying to coach and trying to keep people? No, I wouldn't focus here first. This is not my focus. This becomes your focus when you make this happen, when you get the cost per acquisition game. It's kind of like this. If I'm overweight and I've got 100 pounds to lose, what would you focus on first? Would you focus on my diet, or would you focus on getting me seriously strong? Like seriously strong. I kind of wouldn't worry about strength yet. The biggest impact that could make inside of your business right now is your ability, cost per acquisition, comes down to your ability to market and sell. Your ability to market and sell. But more importantly, what's really funny is marketing is selling when we look at direct response. Marketing and selling is the same thing. In fact, I would go on to then argue that you're consistently selling all the time. That selling equals coaching, and that selling is to drive action. That's kind of my argument there. And if you suck at selling, you suck at coaching. If you're a phenomenal coach, see, don't mistake what I'm about to say. You might be a great teacher, but you suck as a coach if you can't sell. Because as a coach, you have to begin to close your clients on actions. As a closer, as a salesperson, and a person that's selling, you have to begin to close your prospect on action. As a marketer, you have to begin to close your prospect on action. In fact, you're selling all the time. And because you can't sell, there are probably two reasons why you can't sell. You don't have confidence in yourself. You have no self-confidence, and there's a lot of fear, and there's a lot of judgment, and a lot of beliefs around selling and why it's all bad and shit. If you stay there and you allow yourself to hold on to beliefs, you're not going to change your life. Like that's a given. It's like you either overcome that or you stay broke and you stay poor and you can hold on to your beliefs. That's the first thing. You either have a belief around selling because, you don't know, you grew up and you had a cousin who was dodgy as fuck and he sold a ton of shit and he scammed a bunch of people, and then your parents were like, hey, you can't sell because like that person's a salesperson, you know, and they're a snake oil salesperson. We hear that a lot of times. And I go, cool, good. But that doesn't apply to you, because if you don't sell, you'll never be able to get people to move. Or number two, it's because your product stinks and it sucks and you don't even believe in it. There's two major reasons. Number one, you have a product that you don't believe in. Number two, you have a belief around selling. And if you can overcome those two things, number one, if you have a belief around selling, you got to overcome that belief. You got to start hanging around with people that are selling amazing things. And you need to see the impact of selling, because the people that you're surrounded by are just bringing you down. And Kerry, feel free to chime in once the drilling has gone down. So right now there's house renos happening. Kerry's going to be quiet, and I don't want to look like a dick taking up 90% of the show. But Kerry, feel free to, if the drilling's gone down.
A spotlight. So going into marketing, and we talk about the skill of marketing, how do you build on that?
Yeah, awesome. I'll just quickly mute you as the renovations hammer in the nail. So I think the third thing I want to add in there is, if you cannot sell, it comes down to your belief around selling, or it comes down to your product and how you actually don't believe in your product. And simple saying is, you need to change your belief, and in order to change your belief, you need to change your environment to believe what is possible. The fastest way to change your belief is to stop believing dumb shit by hanging around with people that believe dumb shit. and start changing your belief by hanging around with other people that have different beliefs to show you what's possible. Okay, your belief comes from the people that you surround yourself by and the worldview that you currently have. Your product, how do you fix this? Well, you actually go out there and make your product 100 times more valuable. You increase the value of your product by 100 times, and you think about doing everything that you can in your possession to go out and then sell. And once you do that, then you unlock this skill called selling. And then when you sell, Kerry was asking, how do you market and how do you sell? And for marketing, it's like, hey, I'm going to educate you and I'm going to give you value. And a result of this value and education at scale, and I multiply this by 1,000, the people that I get, the 100 people that I get, I don't have to sell to, because I'm creating this thing called supply and demand. Supply versus demand, my friend. Supply versus demand. There's only one of me, and the demand is greater than the supply, which means this is what we like to call a funnel. Deliver value, educate. People will go through. You don't have to sell to these people. You simply just close them on the next step. Selling is closing. And if you're not marketing right now, once again, it comes down to, well, you're surrounding yourself, you have a belief around marketing, and you're like, well, marketing's bad, I shouldn't market, I should just post selfies of myself on Instagram and get likes, but I shouldn't market, I shouldn't talk about the product, I shouldn't educate people. Who am I to educate people? And you need to start hanging around people that are marketing and go and look at all the cool shit that they're doing, right? And I know, because I was in that category for a very long time. For a very long time, I was like, who the fuck am I to deliver value? I'm no expert, I'm small. But the reasons why you are not marketing simply comes down to the fact that you don't have experience and self-confidence in yourself yet, in what you know, your skill sets. And the more experience you gain in your skill sets, the more you'll begin to talk about it.
So I think that first of all, let's say I do have the skill sets and I'm really, really confident in my product and I really believe in what I do. Mm-hmm. And you say the word marketing, I come to you and I go, but Lynn, like, I don't understand what exactly it is that you mean by market. Mm-hmm. Are you saying to put out a Facebook ad? Is that the skill that I need? Or is it to just post on Instagram and start learning how to put imagery with words with marketing? Or what is that specific thing inside of marketing that I need to learn?
All right, that's a very good question, and this is very good for anybody listening. Then listen up and probably watch this 3 to 4 to possibly 5 times, because Kerry's really trying to draw out all the secrets. And she's like, well, Lynn, what do I market? And it's like, first and foremost, you need to understand what is your message, because without your message at the core foundation, you've literally got nothing to market. You're not going to talk about anything. What are you talking about? What is your message? What do you believe in? What system, method do you believe in? And why? And you want to know why a lot of people are not making 7 figures? Is because they don't have a message to market. They don't believe in anything. You see, when you don't believe in anything, you will fall for everything. There's a lot of fitness professionals here. They go, you can do anything to get in shape, my friend. You can do keto, you can do paleo, you can do intermittent fasting, you can do veganism. Is veganism even the word? Sorry, vegans. You can be vegetarian. You can do the Elliott Hulse diet now, which is fast for 40 days, which works. You do all sorts of shit, right? And you'll have the whole majority of the bell curve. 2/3 of people just sit here and go, you know what? I don't want to piss anybody off. I don't want to make a mistake. I don't want to be politically incorrect. I believe you can do everything and there's research for everything and I don't want to be wrong. Because I don't want to piss anyone off because I want to stay safe. And it's like, dude, there's also a billion things that you can do to grow your business. But if you don't actually follow one thing and follow it all the way through to the fucking end, you will never get to the end. And this is the whole gripe coming back down to why so many people fail. It's because that you give them too many options. The reasons why you're failing right now in your business is because you have way too many options. You go, I could be doing social media, and then fuck, Gary Vee tells me I should be selling on social media. I should be posting out content. Lynn says I should be running ads. Fucking Grant Cardone says I should be closing every single person, cold prospect. And I don't know what to do because I've got about a billion things to do. And it's like, well, they all work. Why don't you pick one and see it through to the end? And here's why people stop. Because when they pick one, they stop. And then they take a step back and then they go, wait, I don't like this anymore. This is hard. Maybe I'll do the Gary Vee thing where I can just post content. And they look at this shiny object, which is that next thing, which looks like the easier option. And they start that again. And it's the whole pattern that your clients are repeating when they're trying to do a weight loss program. Keto. Do keto for 7 days. And this is the cycle that we have. So if you're a coach and you promote everything, here's what you're promoting. I'll give you 5,000 billion options, but they're all correct. And you can do any one. And yeah, if you want to do this one, I'll help you do this one. And that's why you don't get your clients results. Because they stop, because they're shiny objects, because when resistance hits, they'll go to the option of least resistance, which is that other thing that they're not doing.
I actually love the way that you answered my question.
I haven't even started. That was
right?
You
kind of did. It really is about picking one skill and mastering it and follow through. Feel a follow through. So, really. Feel discipline and follow through.
So Kerry's like, if you're in the 1%, you will know that I answer questions and it's probably like an hour of me answering the one question. But it starts with the message first. If you have no message, you're screwed, because what are you marketing? What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Like, you don't have, your message allows you to create an argument, an AKA debate about why your system, your methodology is better for a particular person. And as soon as you have that, you simply learn how to write an ad. You simply learn how to market this ad to your prospect and go, hey, do you suffer from this problem? Have you considered doing this? Let me show you how you could use this system to get this result. Click on the link below, watch my trainings, and let me show you how. And this is when you start to show them how, by actually delivering them value and going back to the law of marketing, which was educate, give value, and scale. Go back to this diagram. We look at educate, give value, and scale. So we take an ad talking to them. Hey, do you have this problem? I want to show you my system. Here are the results. If you'd like to see these results, let me show you how. Awesome. Show them how, deliver value, and then put a call to action. If you need more help, then I'm going to have you consider joining our 90-day program, a year-long program where we can help you figure this out for yourself. Click on the link below. Let's schedule a call. And if you're a good fit for the program, then dude, I'm going to sell the fuck out of you onto this program because I believe in my product. The end. And there's no shame. There's like, it's just, and Kerry, you want to know why most people are afraid to sell? Because most people are afraid to just tell people the truth that they are going to sell them first. And so it's this weird case of trying to beat around the bush, saying, no, don't worry, come on to the go. I'm not going to sell you. It's like, no, hold on a second. I'm going to sell you into this program. Click the link below to apply for our program. And hey, I'm going to sell the fuck out of you on this program. because I believe in it. And if you want to chat, then at least you know why. And this is where most people, they don't operate with integrity. They're not transparent. And this is where they get this whole selling wrong. And I go, if you're going to have a consult with me, I will sell you and I'll pitch you, because you need to buy from me in order to avoid all the millions of dollars of mistakes that I've made, to come together with my system so I can get to the result faster. It would be idiotic of you to go through this process with me, figure out a plan for you, and not execute it with me, because I can save you time, money, energy, effort, tears, trauma, belief systems that you're going to build upon your failures. But heck, if I've got the better option for you, I'm going to close you on it, because that's what I truly believe. But that comes down to my own work around my self-belief, around sales, and my product, which I believe is fucking phenomenal. And every single coach who's an expert should buy my product and get it. So this idea, it's a lot more complicated than it sounds, because everybody talks, you should be doing sales and marketing, but most people don't understand why people don't sell. And most people regurgitate all of the airy-fairy, nice things that we hear commonly, but at the practical level, very few understand why people don't do it. Did that answer your question, Kayla? You happy with that answer?
And the drilling is gone, so I can speak.
Are you back up? You're good. So yeah, I would definitely say selling is the key area that you need to learn, especially if you're starting your business. If you're not making $100,000 inside of your business right now, it's because you can't sell. And you can't sell because it comes down to those two things. You don't have a product you don't believe in, or maybe the people around you have limitations and beliefs around selling, and you've actually bought into them, and that's holding you back, and that's keeping you broke. So I think at the end of the day, you've got a choice to make. You can either stay broke and throw stones at other people that are moving forward, or you can find a way to overcome it and move forward and change your circumstances and help more people. Very, very simple.
Love it. I want to be able to wrap this conversation around the container and leave it as it is, because I think it is important to emphasize that skill of the selling shamelessly, because you believe in what you have so much. Secondary to that, I think what would be so helpful is when you talk about this word, and you say this word a lot, the message. I want to actually scope that out into its definition and into its the Lynn definition of what that message is, because in my mind, as you're talking about it, I interpret it in, I have various messages and I believe in XYZ principles.
Yeah.
I want to be able to share that, and there isn't just one sentence that I can put it in. Sure. So I would love to share that secret.
Let's scope that out. Yeah, for sure. On the next,
what is an actual definition of a message?
For sure. I'll leave you with this though. If you don't have a message, if you have a message, you'll be able to build a 7-8 figure movement and grow. If you don't have one, you stay commoditized, you can't separate yourself from the marketplace. You sound the same as everywhere. You look the same. It's the difference between somebody like Kitty, who is probably going to hit $200,000 a month over the next couple of months, and say somebody who's been trying for the same amount of time but can't get out of their own way. And it's frustrating because they trust me, you're smart, you get ads, you get webinars, you get ClickFunnels, and you're like, God damn it, Lynn, like, what the fuck do I need to know? I feel like, and this was me for a very long time. I was frustrated because I was so smart and I knew shit. But because I didn't have my message, nothing clicked. And don't get me wrong, all of those skills are amazing because they come back later to help you. And so those are the repetitions that you've put in to get the fruit that you earn. But that fruit doesn't show up later until you get your message. And the reasons why I believe most online fitness experts are broke is because they don't have a unique message that is somewhat different, unique, in the marketplace, it sounds the same as everybody else because everybody's too afraid to stand for something. And at the core backbone of that, so I really feel like that's another discussion that we're going to get into, because once you have that, you and I both know, Kerry, it's game over. And there's then another can of worms that we open up in that conversation.
And I think that everyone deep down inside has a message. It's just that fear of sharing it, which is the opposite of the 99% of social media, because that might not get you likes, to be honest, but the message is real and the message is the truth.
Correct. And I feel like diving into it now. But I'll leave you with this. Here's the reality. Your message should come from your own experience with the thing that you want to transform in the world. And if your message right now, if you're listening to this and your message is a regurgitation of somebody else's business, their brand, you can't fake it. I've tried. Why do I know? I've tried many times. I would try because it was so daunting to stand for something myself and to have the backbone. And therefore, I would try to do everything else. Be a faceless person with VSLs, video sales letters, do all sorts of that stuff, put shit on ClickBank, hope that it will sell shit that I didn't believe in just because it was selling online. And that's what I thought success looked like. And that's the fastest way to fail. And I know there are tons and tons of people that look at doing that. And that's just, you're struggling, and I know exactly why, and you know exactly why. And this is the thing. This is the linchpin.
Awesome. Let's leave it at that. And I'm going to open up a can of worms in the next episode talking about the message, because it is something you're very, very passionate about. And I'm very, very passionate about too. So let's have a to be continued for that episode.
Continued for sure. And guys, if you're watching this, leave your message below if you think you know what it is. If you don't know what it is, also let us know. And I want to stalk you on Facebook. Like, if you want to see some real stalking and what you should do, I'll stalk you. And man, if you're in shape and you're a powerlifter and it's obvious that you've got a passion for powerlifting, I'm just going to tell you, why aren't you doing that, man? Like, why aren't you pursuing that passion? Why aren't you getting better at that? And a lot of people are not pursuing their key area of expertise because they're thinking about where the money is to be made and who's doing what, and they're modeling, but they're not modeling their message. And that's where a lot of people suffer. So we'll leave that there, Kez. You look absolutely stunning today. You are glowing. You are nice and bronze and tanned. So, and we'll see you all on the next episode. Guys and girls, that's it. Peace out.
Yesterday wasn't easy. I had to say goodbye to my best friend. Thought to the end we'd be homies.